The Europa outpost lab vibrated with the chaotic pulse of human ingenuity, its icy walls lit by the sparks of welders and the hum of the Phoenix's newly armed EMP cannon. Dr. Cassia Holt stood beside the ship, her goggles fogged as she wired a Sypher plasma cannon, her mind racing with the success of Tanner's Callisto raid. The stolen tech had boosted their defenses, but the order of Sypher's fleet was massing, Praetor Vyx's crystalline wrath closing in after their chaotic broadcast, and Zin's defection. Elias's data chip, cracked and worn, hung heavy around Cassia's neck, a spark of defiance fueling her resolve against the galaxy's rigid overlords. Tanner Ruiz burst into the lab, his flight suit patched with duct tape, a scorched toaster dangling from his hand. "Cass, we're ready to test the gravity trap," he said, his dark eyes gleaming with mischief. "Rigged it from Sypher scraps and this beauty. Call it the gravity toaster. It'll flip their ships like pancakes." Dr. Priya Sen looked up from her console, her tablet glowing with hacked Sypher signals. "Zin's data says their cruisers have a weak grav shield junction," she said, her grin fierce. "Hit it with a localized gravity pulse, and they're upside down. Systems fried." Cassia's jaw tightened. Zin's intel had proven true on Callisto, but doubts lingered among the outpost's 50 researchers, their glances wary of the crystalline defector. "Where's Zin now?" she asked, her voice steady but sharp. "Lab Bay 3, Tanner said, tossing the toaster onto a workbench. "Helping Mira tune the trap. Kid's taken a shine to the bug, but I'm still watching." Cassia nodded, Elias's chip grounding her. "Get the trap ready. Priya, spoof their scanners. Keep Vyx blind. We test this now, or we're sitting ducks." Zin, their crystalline form pulsing faintly, emerged from Bay 3, their claws holding a glowing Sypher core. "The trap's pulse is stable," they said, their translator buzzing. "It will disrupt their shields, but the Order's fleet is adaptive. They will counter if we delay." Tanner snorted, his hand on his rifle. "Adaptive, huh? Let's see them adapt to a toaster." Cassia studied Zin, searching for cracks in their loyalty. Their facets pulsed with purpose, but the Order's shadow loomed. "You're with us, Zin," she said. "Prove it again." The test site was a frozen canyon a kilometer from the outpost, Europa's ice glinting under Jupiter's faint glow. The gravity toaster, a jury-rigged mess of Sypher coils, human wiring, and a toaster's heating element, sat on a sled, its core humming blue. Cassia monitored from the control room, her tablet linked to Tanner's body cam, Priya flooding Sypher comms with a looping, Gangnam style, to scramble their lattice minds.
Tanner's team, Mira, Zin, and 2 volunteers, set up the trap, their breath fogging in the -150 air. Mira, her teenage frame nimble, wired the toaster's element to the Sypher core, her eyes bright with excitement. "This thing's gonna flip their world," she said, grinning. Zin's facets pulsed, adjusting a conduit. "Target a Sypher probe, 5 clicks out." Its shields match their cruisers. Tanner's cam showed a red Sypher probe, its scanners sweeping the ice. "Here goes nothing," he said, flipping the toaster's switch. The trap fired, a pulse of blue energy rippling through the canyon. Gravity warped, the probe flipping upside down, its systems sparking as it crashed into the ice. The team cheered, Mira's fist raised, but Cassia's tablet pinged. A Sypher scout ship. 3 clicks out, locking onto the pulse. "Incoming," Priya shouted, her fingers flying. She sent a new hack, a viral montage of dancing cats, captioned, "Perfect Chaos," jamming the scout's sensors. The ship veered, confused, but a second ship fired, a plasma bolt scorching the canyon's edge. "Fall back," Tanner yelled, dragging Mira to the sled. Zin pulsed a signal, disabling a drone that broke through Priya's hack, its wreckage crashing in sparks. The team sprinted for the skiff, the toaster secured, but a bolt grazed Tanner's arm, blood freezing on his suit. Cassia's heart pounded, Elias's chip heavy. "Get them out," she ordered, sprinting to the hangar with a med team. The skiff roared through the ice tunnel, skidding into the outpost as the scout ships retreated, baffled by Priya's cats. In the medbay, Tanner grimaced as a medic bandaged his arm, his humor intact. "Toaster worked, Cass," he said, wincing. "Flipped that probe like a burger. Zin's signal saved our asses again." Mira, unscathed but shaken, nodded. "They're all right, Tanner. Stop calling them bug." Zin stood at the door, their facets dim but steady. "Your toaster is illogical," they said. Yet it works. I am learning. Cassia gripped Tanner's shoulder, relief mixing with tension. You're lucky, Ruiz. Zin, you pulled through. But the Sypher saw that pulse. They'll hit harder now. Priya's tablet pinged, a Sypher intercept flashing. Vyx is raging, she said, her voice grim. Calling us unstable anomalies. Their fleet's regrouping, 5 cruisers, 10 clicks out, prepping a ground assault. Cassia called the outpost survivors to the hangar, the Phoenix's frame gleaming with Sypher cannons. The gravity trap works, she said, her voice carrying over the 45 researchers. We flipped their probe, thanks to Tanner, Mira, Zin. But Vyx is coming. We arm the Phoenix, we hit their station, we show the galaxy our madness isn't a flaw, it's our strength. For Elias. The crowd roared, Mira raising her screwdriver, Priya projecting a meme, a human toasting a Sypher ship, captioned, burnt to a crisp. Cheers mixed with laughter, human chaos a spark in the ice. That evening, Cassia found Zin in the lab, their claws tracing the gravity toaster's wiring. A tablet played their broadcast, researchers rigging traps, kids laughing over circuits. Zin's facets pulsed softly. Your kind creates, even under threat, they said. The order would erase this. Cassia sat beside them, Elias's chip glinting. They took my mentor, my world. We build to fight back, to remember. Why'd you break, Zin? Zin's translator buzzed, their facets dimming. The lattice crushed my doubt. Your spark, your chaos, gave me freedom. I risk all for it. Cassia's throat tightened, seeing Elias in Zin's struggle. You're risking with us now. Keep it up. The lab hummed through the night, the Phoenix's EMP cannon scaled with Sypher tech, duct tape sealing every seam. Tanner's traps, more toasters, soda cans, and gravity snares, lined the tunnels. Priya's hacks flooded Sypher comms with a new virus, a montage of human skateboard fails, captioned, wipe out the order. The outpost's ice vibrated with defiance, researchers chanting Elias's name, their fire unquenched. Mira approached Cassia, her teenage grit fierce. Traps are set, she said. If Vyx hits, they'll choke on chaos. Cassia nodded, her resolve steel. Good, we hit their station next. The Phoenix will burn them. In the Sypher's command cruiser, Praetor Vyx pulsed with cold rage, their lattice mind fraying. The human trap, Zin's betrayal, their chaotic signals, it was madness unbound. Launch the assault, Vyx commanded. Purge their ice, end their spark. But Nexus observers, watching humanity's broadcast, stirred with awe. The humans were no anomaly, they were a force, their chaos reshaping the stars. Vyx's order trembled, a crack in their crystalline heart. In the outpost, Cassia stood before the Phoenix, its cannon a beacon of defiance. Tanner's traps guarded the ice, Priya's hacks confounded the Sypher, and Zin's data lit the path to victory. The order loomed, but humanity's madness burned brighter, a spark ready to flip the galaxy upside down. The Europa outpost's lab thrummed with the chaotic pulse of human defiance, its icy walls lit by the sparks of welders and the blue glow of the Phoenix's EMP cannon, now bolstered with Sypher tech from the Callisto raid. Dr. Cassia Holt stood beside the ship, her goggles fogged as she wired a gravity trap, her mind racing with the success of the gravity toaster's test. The flipped Sypher probe had proven their ingenuity, but Praetor Vyx's fleet loomed closer, their crystalline logic enraged by Zin's defection and humanity's chaotic broadcast. Elias's cracked data chip hung heavy around Cassia's neck, a spark of resolve fueling her against the order's tightening grip. Dr. Priya Sen burst into the lab, her tablet flashing with an urgent Sypher signal. Cass, Vyx is on the line, direct transmission, demanding the destabilizer, she said, her voice tense but fierce. They're giving us 12 hours to surrender it or they glass Europa. Tanner Ruiz, his arm bandaged from the Callisto raid, looked up from rigging an EMP mine with a soda can. Surrender? He snorted, his dark eyes gleaming. They can shove their logic up their shiny hulls. Cassia's jaw tightened, Elias's chip grounding her. Show me, she said, stepping to Priya's console. The hollow flickered, revealing Praetor Vyx, a towering crystalline figure, their facets pulsing with cold fury. Their voice, filtered through a translator, was sharp as ice. Humans of Europa, Vyx said, your destabilizer threatens galactic stability. Surrender it, dismantle your outpost, and submit to order protocols. Refuse, and your ice will burn. The lab fell silent, the outpost's 50 researchers pausing, their tools still. Cassia climbed onto a workbench, her voice cutting through the tension. Vyx thinks they can scare us, she said. They're wrong. We've flipped their probes, raided their caches, and we'll break their fleet. We're not surrendering, we're fighting. For Elias, for Europa. The crowd roared, Mira, the teenage tech, raising her screwdriver high. For Chaos, she shouted, and laughter mixed with cheers, human madness a spark in the ice. Zin, their crystalline form pulsing faintly, stepped forward. The order will not negotiate, they said, their translator buzzing. Their ground assault will target your tunnels. I can disrupt their lattice mind, but it will expose my presence. Tanner's eyes narrowed, his hand on his rifle. Expose you, huh? Hope that's not code for, sell us out, Crystal. Zin's facets dimmed, a gesture Cassia read as resolve. I broke from the order for your spark, Tanner Ruiz. I will prove it. Cassia nodded, her trust in Zin growing but cautious. Do it, Zin. Priya, weaponize our hacks, hit their minds hard. Tanner, arm the tunnels with every trap we've got. We hold the ice. The outpost sprang into action, researchers racing to arm the Phoenix with Sypher cannons and gravity traps. Tanner rigged the tunnels with EMP mines, gravity snares, and a new contraption, a microwave rigged to overload Sypher shields. Priya's console glowed, her fingers weaving a new virus, a montage of human stand-up comedy, captioned, Laugh the order away, designed to fry the Sypher's lattice mind. Cassia worked beside the Phoenix, threading duct tape around a cracked cannon mount, her scientist's hands steady despite the looming threat. Zin joined her, their claws adjusting a gravity trap's core. Your microwave trap is illogical, they said, their facets pulsing curiously. Why not use Sypher tech alone? Cassia smirked, tossing a scorched plug at Zin. Because logic's their game, chaos is ours. Stick a microwave in their face, and they'll choke on it. Zin's facets flickered, a gesture Cassia took as amusement. Your chaos, it defies my understanding. Yet it works. Priya's tablet pinged, a Sypher intercept breaking through. Vyx's fleet is moving, she said, her grin fading. 5 cruisers, ground troops, drones, 2 clicks out, landing at dusk. Cassia's fire flared. Let them come. Tanner, traps ready? Tanner's voice crackled through the comms, his team in the tunnels. Mines set, snares hot, microwaves humming. They'll eat ice and regret it. Dusk fell, the ice trembling as Sypher dropships landed in a nearby canyon, their red hulls disgorging crystalline troops and drones. Cassia watched from the control room, her tablet linked to Tanner's bodycam, Priya flooding Sypher comms with her comedy virus. Eddie Murphy's laugh echoing through their lattice. Drones glitched, veering into ice walls, but the troops advanced, their plasma staffs blazing. Tanner, hit the traps. Cassia ordered, her plasma torch gripped like a rifle. In the tunnels, Tanner's team, Mira and the volunteers, sprang the traps. EMP mines sparked, disabling drones, while gravity snares flipped troops, their crystalline forms crashing in heaps. The microwave trap fired, its pulse overloading a squad's shields, sparks raining. But a Sypher commander, its facets pulsing with lattice fury, rallied the troops, their staffs vaporizing a tunnel wall. Zin stepped to a console, their claws emitting a high-pitched signal. The commander froze, its lattice link disrupted, and Tanner's rifle dropped it, shards scattering. Mira's EMP grenade cleared the rest, but a drone's bolt grazed her leg, blood freezing on the ice. Get her out, Cassia shouted, sprinting to the hangar with medics. Tanner dragged Mira to safety, Zin pulsing another signal to jam the drones. The Sypher retreated, their assault broken, but the outpost's tunnels smoked, 2 volunteers wounded. In the medbay, Mira grimaced as a medic bandaged her leg, her teenage grit unshaken. Got him good, Cass, she said, clutching her screwdriver. Zin's signal saved us. Tanner, his arm re-bandaged, nodded grudgingly. Bugs earning their keep, but Vyx ain't done. Zin stood at the door, their facets dim but steady. The order will escalate, they said. Their core station is their heart. Strike there, and they break. Cassia gripped Mira's shoulder, relief mixing with resolve. You did good, kid. Zin, you're proving yourself. We'll hit that station, but first, we rebuild. That night, Cassia called the survivors to the hangar, the Phoenix gleaming with Sypher tech and human duct tape. Vyx tried to break us, she said, her voice carrying over the 40-strong crowd. They failed, our traps held, our chaos burned them. We arm the Phoenix, we hit their heart, we show the galaxy what mad scientists do. For Elias, the crowd roared, Mira raising her screwdriver despite her limp, Priya projecting a meme, a human microwaving a Sypher drone, captioned, Toasted Chaos. Laughter mixed with cheers, human fire unquenched. Cassia found Zin later, their claws tracing the Phoenix's cannon. A tablet played their broadcast, researchers laughing, kids rigging traps. Your kind fights with joy, Zin said. The Order would crush it. Cassia sat beside them, Elias's chip glinting. They took my mentor, my home. We fight with joy because it's ours. You're part of that now, Zin. Zin's facets brightened, a gesture of gratitude. I am honored, Cassia Holt. In the Sypher's command cruiser, Praetor Vyx pulsed with rage, their lattice mind fracturing. The human traps, Zin's betrayal, their chaotic laughter, it was anarchy. Target their core, Vyx hissed. End their spark. But Nexus observers, watching humanity's broadcast, whispered of their fire. The galaxy stirred, and Vyx's control wavered. In the outpost, Cassia stood before the Phoenix, its cannon a beacon of defiance. Tanner's traps guarded the ice, Priya's hacks confounded the Sypher, and Zin's signals lit the path to victory. The Order loomed, but humanity's chaos burned brighter, ready to toast the stars. The Europa outpost's hangar thrummed with the chaotic pulse of human defiance, its icy walls scarred by welders' sparks and the hum of the Phoenix's EMP cannon, now bristling with Sypher tech. Dr. Cassia Holt stood beside the ship, her goggles fogged as she checked a gravity trap, her heart heavy with Praetor Vyx's ultimatum. Surrender the quantum destabilizer or face annihilation. The gravity toaster's success and Tanner's Callisto raid had bloodied the Order's nose, but their fleet was descending, their crystalline logic bent on purging humanity's madness. Elias's cracked data chip hung around Cassia's neck, a spark of resolve fueling her fire against the galaxy's sterile overlords. Dr. Priya Sen's tablet flared with an urgent intercept, her face lit by the glow of Sypher signals. Cass, they're here, she said, her voice tight. 3 dropships, drones, 60 troops, 1 click north. Ground assault, now. Tanner Ruiz, his arm bandaged but his grin fierce, rigged an EMP mine with a soda can. Let's give him a warm welcome, he said, his dark eyes gleaming. Tunnels are rigged, mines, snares, microwaves. They'll choke on chaos. Zin, their crystalline form pulsing faintly, stood at a Sypher console, their claws adjusting a hacked drone core. The Order's troops are linked by lattice mind, they said, their translator buzzing. I can disrupt their signal, but it will mark me as a traitor, permanently. Cassia met Zin's glowing facets, trust outweighing her doubts. Do it, Zin. Tanner, lead the tunnel defense. Priya, hit their comms. We hold the ice. Mira, the teenage tech, raised her screwdriver, her leg bandaged but her grit unshaken. For Elias, she shouted, rallying the outpost's 40 survivors. Cassia's fire flared, Elias's chip grounding her. For Europa, she echoed. Let's burn them. The Sypher assault hit at dusk, the ice trembling as dropships landed in the canyon, disgorging crystalline troops, their plasma staffs glowing red. Drones swarmed, their scanners piercing the Jovian twilight. Cassia watched from the control room, her tablet linked to Tanner's bodycam, Priya flooding Sypher comms with a looping human comedy skit, Monty Python's spam sketch, sowing chaos in their lattice mind. Tanner's team, Mira, Lena, and 5 volunteers, ambushed from the tunnels. EMP mines sparked, disabling drones, while gravity snares flipped troops, their crystalline forms crashing in heaps. The microwave trap fired, its pulse overloading shields, sparks raining across the ice. But the Sypher commander, its facets pulsing with cold fury, rallied the troops, their staffs vaporizing a tunnel entrance. Priya, hit harder, Cassia ordered, her plasma torch gripped like a rifle. Priya's fingers flew, her virus escalating, a montage of human prank videos, captioned, Prank the Order, glitching the lattice mind. Drones veered, crashing into ice walls, but the troops pressed forward, their plasma carving paths through the frost. Tanner's voice crackled, tense. They're breaching the outer tunnels. We're holding, but we need backup. Zin stepped to a console, their claws emitting a high-pitched pulse. The Sypher commander froze, its lattice link severed, and Tanner's rifle shattered its core, shards scattering. But a drone swarm locked on, their bolts scorching the tunnel. Tanner dove, shielding Mira, but a bolt struck his leg, blood freezing on the ice. Zin, now, Cassia shouted, sprinting to the hangar with a med team. Zin's facets dimmed, their form trembling as they sent a second pulse, broadcasting their traitor status across the Sypher lattice. The drones faltered, their signals cut, and Mira's EMP grenade cleared the rest. Lena dragged Tanner to safety, Zin covering their retreat, their stolen staff blazing against a stray drone. The canyon fell silent, littered with crystalline shards and human blood. Cassia reached the tunnel, helping Lena carry Tanner to the medbay, his face pale but his grin defiant. Got him good, Cass, he rasped. Zin's a keeper. Mira, limping but fierce, nodded. They burned themselves for us. That's trust. Zin stood apart, their facets flickering, drained from the signal. The Order knows me now, they said. There is no return. Cassia gripped Zin's crystalline arm, her throat tight. You're with us, Zin. You're home. In the medbay, Tanner rested, his leg bandaged, his humor intact. Microwaves and comedy, he chuckled. Vyx didn't see that coming. Priya joined them, her tablet confirming the Sypher retreat. Their lattice is in chaos, she said, her grin returning. Zin's pulse and my pranks broke their minds. But Vyx is regrouping, cruisers massing, 10 clicks out. Cassia called the survivors to the hangar, the Phoenix gleaming with Sypher cannons and gravity traps. We held the ice, she said, her voice carrying over the 40-strong crowd. Tanner's traps, Priya's hacks, Zin's sacrifice, they burned the Order. We arm the Phoenix, we hit their core station, we end this. For Elias, for Europa. The crowd roared, Mira raising her screwdriver, Priya projecting a meme. A human torching a Sypher drone with a microwave, captioned, Microwave Mayhem. Cheers mixed with laughter, human chaos a spark in the ice. That night, Cassia found Zin in the lab, their claws tracing the Phoenix's cannon. A tablet played their broadcast, researchers laughing, kids rigging traps, defiance in every spark. Zin's facets pulsed softly. Your kind fights with joy, they said. The Order would erase it. Cassia sat beside them, Elias's chip glinting. They took my mentor, my world. We fight with joy because it's ours. You gave up everything for us, Zin. Why? Zin's translator buzzed, their facets dimming. The lattice was unity, but it crushed me. Your spark gave me purpose. I burned my link for it. Cassia's throat tightened, seeing Elias in Zin's sacrifice. Your family now, Zin. We fight for family. Zin's facets brightened, a gesture of gratitude. I am honored, Cassia Holt. Priya's tablet pinged, a nexus signal breaking through. Humans of Europa, an avian envoy said, its tone odd, your chaos shakes the stars. We offer aid, ships, tech, as equals. Cassia nodded, sending a reply. A clip of the Phoenix's cannon, captioned, We fight our way. In the Sypher's command cruiser, Praetor Vyx pulsed with rage, their lattice mind fractured. The human traps, Zin's betrayal, their chaotic laughter, it was anarchy unbound. Target their core, Vyx hissed. End their spark. But Nexus observers, watching humanity's broadcast, stirred with awe. The humans were a force, their madness reshaping the galaxy. Vyx's order wavered, a crack in their crystalline heart. In the outpost, Cassia stood before the Phoenix, its cannon a beacon of defiance. Tanner's traps guarded the ice, Priya's hacks confounded the Sypher, and Zin's sacrifice lit the path to victory. The Order loomed, but humanity's fire burned brighter, a spark ready to ignite the stars.